Hello all, I just wanted to come on here really quick to give you guys a little update about my ancestry experience. And yeah, so let's get into it. You can go to previous videos to get a background on my adoption story and my ancestry results and my brother's ancestry results. I have a biological brother whom is my full brother, and we were adopted into the same family. So basically, to make a long story short, in January, I went on Ancestry just like I normally do, just to see if there's any updates on cousins or whatever, any close relation. And yo, there was an uncle on there. At first, it said like first cousin uncle, so I thought it was a first cousin. I was like, oh my God. But then I kept like reading what the definition was on Ancestry, and it was an uncle. And I was like, oh my gosh, is he related to my maternal side? Because if so, like, I don't know if I should reach out, because my birth mother does not want to be contacted or involved with us in any way. But then I was like, what if it's my birth father? And then I was like, what if he's the same way and as pretty much you know, direct and just like no contact, like just kind of, you know, not pleasant. So I didn't want to go through that experience that I already did with my birth mother. So I was really afraid, but I did reach out. I said, hey, I am adopted and it looks like you might be my uncle. I don't want any contact with, you know, whoever your sibling is, you know, just putting that out there, you know, to protect myself. But also, if it was my maternal side, I didn't want her to think that I'm like reaching out to try to find her again, which I wasn't. I just wanted to get some information from family that was as close as possible to my birth parents. Anyway, he contacted me back and said like he'll contact me back in a few days. He was kind of vague, and he told me to give me some any information that I could. So I gave him very vague information. I knew nothing about my birth father at all, but I gave him a little bit of information about my birth mother that wasn't really identifying, but just like a tidbit of something that only, you know, like her family would know to kind of link it. So he would maybe link it. Anyway, so he contacted me a few days later. He was very nice, but vague. And I sent him my number, and he asked if he could call, and he called. It was a Sunday, and so I heard my uncle's voice for the first time. It was like crazy. And which is the closest relative I've ever, you know, been in contact with. And he was so sweet and so nice. And he said, well, I am your uncle. And he said, I know your birth father is named such and such. And he gave me his name. And I was like, oh my God. But the way he said it, I was like, oh my God, is he still alive? But he is still alive. And he said, and he is looking forward to hearing from you and contacting you if that's okay. And I said, yes. So this was like a Sunday at 11. So I basically waited all day to hear from him. My uncle told me like he comes from a large, loving, beautiful family, and they're very loving people. And I was just like overwhelmed. How open and loving that he was. So anyway, later on that night, I did get a phone call, and it was my birth father, and I heard his voice, and he heard my voice, and it was like surreal. Um, but one of the first things that he said that came out of his mouth was, "I'm all in. Whatever you need from me, whatever you want, whatever kind of relationship you want, I'm all in." And yeah, he thought I could have been a possibility. He knew absolutely nothing about my brother. But yeah, and ever since then, he has been in contact. And as a matter of fact, it didn't even take a whole week. He actually, so that was a Sunday. I think that Friday night, no, that Saturday, he flew all the way down from where he lives, which is a long way, just to meet me, and then had another ticket to fly all the way down, which is a long distance, to meet my brother within the span of a couple of days. And he has been amazing. It is like the opposite situation and outcome from my birth mother. He has been supportive. He has been open. He has been just amazing. I'm so sorry. There's like a drone outside of my house. Okay. So anyway, one of these little kids out here. I'm sorry. I don't play that. I don't like that stuff. Anyway, so yes. So it has been a little roller coaster for me because I've known about him my entire life. I've known that I was adopted, you know. So not searching anymore, not wondering anymore. You know, it's taking some adjusting to do because I laid certain things to rest. So having them come up again has been like I said, a roller coaster, but the most absolute beautiful story. I can and will tell you guys more if you would like to hear it. But oh my God, such a beautiful story, such a beautiful family, such a beautiful man he is, and his heart is very similar to mine and my brother's, and it's just the similarities that we have are just phenomenal and amazing, and it has been, like I said, a beautiful story. My parents have been supportive throughout the entire process. I have been checking in with them constantly, you know, because, you know, being adopted, you have a little bit of that guilt, you know, for questioning, for searching, for, you don't want your parents, adopted parents, to feel like they're any less than, or you weren't satisfied, or, you know. So, but they've been absolutely beautiful. This whole story, everything has been beautiful. And I feel like I'm rambling, so I'm going to get off, but I will get back on and tell you guys more details about our first meeting and just what's to come, because my brother and I actually have planned a trip to go meet our grandparents, and it's such a blessing that they're still here and healthy. And yeah, so keep me in your prayers, keep us in your prayers, and maybe I'll be able to record some of that trip coming up. But yeah, so that's my update, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a wonderful week. Bye.